Hello, everybody. It has been a very long time since I've recorded anything. In case you've forgotten, my name is Alex Jagir. I'm an epic fantasy writer, and yeah, this is finally an update coming to you. So, last several months have been extremely busy, which is why you haven't seen my face in a while. Uh, for my personal career and life, my work has just been extremely busy, all good things, but it's just been the busiest workload of my life. So that mixed with, continuing in my writing, just a lot of stuff going on, I've been silent, which is very unfortunate, but sometimes that's just how life is. But I am back. Here's my writing update. I'm going to be more active now with publishing more videos. Things are finally starting to kind of smooth out in my day to day. So get ready for more content. I guess, first of all, um, some probably wondering mostly about my writing, right, and where that's at. So I have hopefully, some pretty exciting announcements to be bringing everybody here in the next few months. But just maybe a hint of what's to come. The first draft for my book is going extremely strong. Um, that's all I'll say there. I don't want to make any promises. Don't want to get myself ahead of myself, but things are going very well with book two. Um, book one, um, I feel like I've said it so many times, but thank you if you've purchased Breaking, my debut epic fantasy novel, which is behind me. It's probably blurry in the camera, but it's behind me. Uh, I I'm really amazed at just how people have enjoyed it. It just is surprising the feedback on it. It still amazes me that people who I don't know have bought my book, read it, and liked it. It's just it's a weird experience. Yeah, it's a dream come true. So thank you if you've purchased it. If you haven't already, head on over to my website. Links in the description. You can go ahead over and take a look. And I know I'm a new author, so if you're like, I don't want to buy a book, a little bit risky, I only have so much time. There's a very large free sample of it on my website. I think I have the first two, maybe even three chapters, and also the prologue that you can go ahead and read for free if you want to. So just so you can get a feel for kind of what the story is about in my writing. Um, yeah, everything's going really well. I feel like whenever I feel like in my mind that I have a little bit of downtime, I think, oh wait a second, I got to like book three writing the first draft. I'll be kicking off pretty shortly. And then I also have to be thinking about some larger future projects, like starting early on those. And then I have to edit my website to prep for whenever book two does release. There's always something going on, which is fun. That's good for me. I like to stay busy. But so yeah, a lot of stuff going on. As far as content, what you can expect, again, just really, I wouldn't say necessarily a shame I couldn't make content last few months. A little bit disappointing. Again, that's just sometimes the place where we find ourselves in life. But um, I finally have a good string of content. I think I'll be releasing in a couple months, in the next several months, and hopefully ongoing. I don't know if you've watched already. I do have a series that I've started. I've called Across the Realms, where I'll be. I don't like the word interview because I'm not an interviewer. I don't consider myself a YouTuber, and even though I write reviews on Goodreads, I don't consider myself a reviewer. I'm a writer first. So the series I've kicked off called Across the Realms. I think I only have one episode released so far with Abel Montero, but I have a couple coming up, and every time I every time I bring some out in the month, I'll update what they were in like the following month's update. So I don't have any right now to share, but over the next month or so, I'll have two coming out. I'm hoping to do at least two a month. Um, just sitting down with other authors and having a conversation with them. And I know that other authors like to, we like to, you know, brand our books and talk about our books and our writing. And so I try to do a mixture of interview. I ask questions. Um, Again, not necessarily in a typical interview style. I'm just curious about the author's writing. So whatever I want to talk about, I'll talk about with them. But I like that I think it's a very good mix of finding out more about the author in that kind of interview style. But then I want the majority feel of it to be very conversational. I've learned a lot by talking to these authors, and it's just been a great experience so far. So I'm going to keep that going. I might expand that to other people later on. I don't know, but for right now, it's authors of books that I've read that I've enjoyed. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I really like that series. It's longer form content, between 60 and 90 minutes each recording. So really good stuff. I'll also, I thought about maybe discontinuing it because it's a little bit of a time sink, but I'm going to stick with it because it's something I enjoy doing. Is I'm going to be still releasing like chapter by chapter review and analysis of books, and I've started with old epic histories that I've just never read before. The first one is the Epic of Gilgamesh. I've really enjoyed reading that book, so stay tuned for more of those videos to come. I already have a few out. And then I don't know how I want to. I kind of want to do some one-off videos as well. Maybe just my thoughts on maybe stuff going on in the industry, writing news. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I could talk about. So maybe there's room for additional content. Something big that maybe I should have mentioned earlier. Albo Montero did ask me to be a part of his team for to be a judge for the SPFBO, the Self Publishers Fantasy Blog Off that Mark Lawrence runs. I think he's been running. I think this is the 11th year. Um, so nothing specific there. You can go on Goodreads. I've had two DNFs, and I hated doing that. And I'll be talking about that more in a video later on. So no specific updates here, but I'm gonna make a few dedicated videos talking about my experience through it. It's been great so far. Working on Abel's team and in the books that I've read. So stay tuned for that. So a lot of man, as I'm saying this, I realize in my mind, wow, I'm busy, and again, I love that. I like having a lot of stuff to do and keeping my mind going. So yeah, stay tuned for future updates on book two. I plan on releasing quite a bit of content. Hopefully, consistency is what matters. So maybe I'll be slower at first, maybe a video or two a week, and then if I make more, then I make more, and if not, then that's fine. But apologies for all the delay. I'm sure you've just been on the edge of your seat every day, wondering, man, wonder when Alex is gonna release another video. But at least I've been like that in my own mind. Man, Alex, when are you gonna release another one? So glad to be back, and I think I'll be able to finally consistently continue with this content. But again, even if for some reason content gets delayed a little bit here or there, I'm still writing, still very much active. It's just a busy time of life. Got a 6-year old, a 3-year old, work promotions, and just all kinds of stuff. It's just keeping me busy. But writing will always keep me busy as well. Anyway, thank you for listening to my rant. Um, Glad to finally make an update video again. Appreciate you all watching. Thank you for ordering Breaking if you have. If you haven't, please do so. Would love to be able to have someone else experience what I've written. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.